This grant provides housing assistance to youth with a history of foster care involvement who are homeless or at risk of homelessness, and whose family's lack of adequate housing is a primary reason their child is in foster care. Congratulations to Carol Ventura and Rhode Island Housing and all of the partners involved securing the only family unification program vouchers in this state. You are one of only 13 communities across this nation to have received this funding, and we all know it was no easy feat. Look, a recent Zillow report showed the cost of rent has increased and risen in Providence over the past year more than anywhere else in the country. And thanks to all of the work you put into this application and the work you do every day, we are one step closer to keeping families together and providing the stability and security of housing for youth and families who need it most. We at HUD are grateful to have strong partnerships and relationships with the state of Rhode Island Housing, and so many partners throughout the state that share our goal of preventing and ending homelessness. This program specifically aims to encourage continued coordination among housing authorities, child welfare agencies, and continuums of care with the intention to increase access to services. One important component of the Family Unification Program is pairing housing with services. Under the program, youth will receive services for skills such as money management, job preparation, educational counseling, and nutrition, laying the groundwork for their long-term success. I know you are fortunate to have some excellent and dedicated providers here working with families and youth in the child welfare system, and I want to thank Family Service of Rhode Island and Foster Forward for being here and being an important partner to this work. As we get into some of the coldest months of the year, we are reminded of how crucial it is to have collaboration and coordination from all levels of government, nonprofits, and the private sector to leverage every possible resource to combat homelessness. This announcement is especially important as we close out the holiday season, which to many of us symbolizes warmth and security of home and family, especially for children and youth. The Biden-Harris administration, Secretary Fudge, and all of us at HUD are committed to providing the tools that enable families, youth, seniors, and everyone not only to live, but thrive in their communities. The recent increase in fair market rents in Rhode Island and across the country, American Rescue Plan funding, historic investments for new housing vouchers, and the family unification vouchers being announced today at this moment, all are just some of the many ways the administration has addressed the need to prevent and end homelessness. On behalf of President Biden, Secretary Fudge, and HUD, we are proud to be a part of strong efforts tackling homelessness every day here in Rhode Island, and we look forward to our continued partnership and work ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Juana. We're honored to have a number of state and federal leaders here from Rhode Island who supported this initiative and helped to make it happen. So first, I would like to welcome Governor Dan McKee, who's joined us today for this special announcement. Governor.
Great. Well, thank you, Peter, and it's really, a great opportunity here for the state of Rhode Island, and I thank our congressional delegation once again for their leadership, both our congressman and, of course, Senator Reid. Rhode Island has a certain amount of momentum right now. I was actually with the president last Friday in Valley Forge, and I thanked him for the various things you have just expressed our thanks to an administration that is really, seeing Rhode Island in a way that I don't think that we've ever seen an administration see Rhode Island before. So thank you so much for that work that you do, and of course, Senator Whitehouse, who's not with us, is part of that team. And we thank you very much, Senator Reid, and please pass it along to all your staff and everyone that works on these issues that are so important. I on a personal note, I did attend with our Director Deckett, Ashley, a family reunification program that we had in the state of Rhode Island just a few months back. And I was there with Judge Ford as well. But the takeaway that I had was families on reunification, really, the young kids and the parents that were at that session really were engaged in a way that, this program here is going to make it possible for more reunification in the state, family unification in the state of Rhode Island. And the leadership that DCYF is providing is second to none, in my opinion, and we're getting that results from it. And these vouchers represent a lifetime for folks in need to find housing, to strengthen coordination among public housing authorities and our state agencies, and add supportive services to Rhode Island who need them most. And along with Secretary Pryor and the efforts that we're doing with Rhode Island Housing, we continue to find opportunities to move this ball forward. And we're going to continue to do that. So thanks to Secretary Fudge and the team at HUD for this award. And now I'll turn it back over to you, Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Governor. I'm happy now to introduce Senator Jack Reed, who everyone here I think knows has been so vital to Rhode Island's housing cause, and indeed to leading the effort in Congress for investments and improvements in affordable housing across the entire country. Senator Reed.
Well, thank you very much, Peter, and also let me congratulate you on your new role as the HUD Rhode Island Field Officer. I know you're going to do a superb job. Thank you. Governor McKee and my colleagues in the delegation, Congressman Magazina, Congressman Amo, thank you for your great work. Secretary Pryor and also DCYF Director Deckert, thank you, ma'am. Also of note is the presence of our regional director here, which we have to recognize, Juana Matias. Juana, thank you for your good work. Bienvenidos. And I also want to thank Carol Ventura of Rhode Island Housing and her team. When you look over the course of many, many years, Carol and Rhode Island Housing have been the secret sauce in a lot of our success. So bravo, keep up the good work. These 28 new Family Unification Program vouchers are a really big deal for Rhode Island. These new federal dollars will reunite families separated due to housing instability and ensure young people aging out of foster care have a home to move in as they begin their adulthood. In all, today's announcement is a 43% increase in Rhode Island's total FUP, Family Unification Program vouchers. It's a big step forward, but it's just the first step in a long process. No Rhode Islander, no American, no person should have to be homeless, but homelessness is particularly cruel for children. Our early days lay the groundwork for adulthood. Childhood should be a world of safety, exploration, friendship, learning, everything each of us remembers and cherishes from our younger days. But when a child or young adult is constantly moving between homes or living in a car or living on the street, they struggle to get to school, they struggle to maintain friendships, to stay healthy and safe. They struggle indeed just to be happy. Youth homelessness is both unfair now and carries long-term implications by raising obstacles to success in adulthood. It's one of those old-fashioned notions. You either pay now or you pay later. I would prefer to pay now. It's much more efficient economically. Investing in our children, ensuring every young Rhode Islander has a safe home with their parents and guardians who love and care for them, is an investment in our future and one of the best investments we can make. Now, as a member of the Senate Appropriations Committee and the Senate Banking and Housing Committee, I work very closely to support federal programs for housing, and particularly those that target young people. Just over a month ago, I led 22 of my colleagues in proposing an extra $7.9 billion for homelessness assistance programs in fiscal year 25. And as we all go back, Seth and Gabe and I, and deal with this budget, housing, increasing housing support is going to be the top of our agenda. And I'll continue to fight through 2024 and hopefully we'll secure a few more vouchers. Let's keep moving forward. This is a good day. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. Well, Congressman Magaziner is serving his first term as a member of Congress from Rhode Island. We know that his experience as state treasurer and other experience, he's brought a lot to Washington in terms of knowledge and experience advocating for affordable housing. So we're very fortunate to have him there and have him here today, Congressman Magaziner.
Well, thank you very much, Peter. Congratulations on your new role. Very excited for you, and also excited for what it means for our state. To Juana Matias, thank you very much for your leadership. Governor and Secretary Pryor and Carol Ventura and the team from Rhode Island Housing, and Ashley Deckard from DCYF, thank you all for your leadership. And to my colleagues in the delegation, I always say in the Rhode Island congressional delegation we work together as a team, but every team needs a captain. Our captain is Jack Reed, who has been a champion for Rhode Island, and particularly a champion for housing for a very long time, and it's a pleasure to serve alongside him, along with Gabe Amo, who is off to a terrific start as well. Families belong together, and that is why we are here. All of us have people in our lives who were formative in our upbringing, and families, children should not be separated from their caregivers, from their parents, from their loved ones for financial hardship reasons. And so this program helps to create an environment where families can stay together so that kids can focus on going to school and being kids, and parents can focus on going to work and creating a good environment for those children to thrive in, and they do not have to face the stress and the trauma of being separated from one another. This program and these vouchers will help young adults transitioning out of foster care, will help families who have faced that trauma of being separated, help them start fresh together as a family the way it should be. And so this is a tremendous step forward. It is going to make a difference in the lives of many young people here in Rhode Island. And it is an important step, but it is just one step that we must take in order to ensure that all children have stable housing. In Congress, I'll continue to fight to work to end housing insecurity, particularly for children. I've co-sponsored the Affordable Housing Credit Improvement Act, which would expand the low-income housing tax credit that Rhode Island Housing and other organizations in the state use to produce more units of affordable housing. We are also fighting for more funding for the Community Development Block Grant Program, the McKinney-Vento Homelessness Assistance Program, among others. So we're going to continue to fight in Washington to deliver resources, to produce more housing in Rhode Island, and to help more people stay housed. But today is, I think, an especially important and special day, because today is a day that we can announce that more children are going to be able to live with their families the way it should be. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you, Congressman. I would like to introduce Rhode Island's newest member of Congress, though I know it was just a few weeks ago that I was at his swearing in on the other side of Kennedy Plaza. It also feels like he's already been in the job for some time, and that is Congressman Gabe Amo. Congressman?
Thank you, Peter. Congrats to you in your new role, and it's a great day to be on this team. There are so many great leaders who you've heard recognized, but I am so grateful for our state, local leaders, and also the leaders in our social service ecosystem who are here and who use these tools that we are able to put forward to great use. But of course, just like Seth said, we've got a great team captain, and I'm certainly grateful for all the leadership that Senator Reed provides. So I'm excited to be here because it's so critical that these vouchers lead to affordable, permanent, and quality housing for our young people and families. Especially as we've noted, the cost of housing isn't going down, and families and young people are often the first to fall victim to homelessness. And I want to underscore what you've heard, but the two key groups of people that these funds will help. the families who need to stay together. We all know the strength of a family unit, that what that nurturing provides, both for today and for tomorrow. And the teenagers who are leaving the system, who just need the continued assistance to be on the pathway towards a fulfilling life. And so this is important. I hope that Rhode Islanders have a sense of this commitment being something that we are all part of. And as I work down in Washington alongside Congressman Magaziner in the House, I know that we will continue to be steadfast in our pursuit of investments for affordable housing right here in Rhode Island, and as we are all on this mission to end homelessness. So I just want to add my thank you. As a new guy, I get to show up and thank people for work that's been done before I got here. But you also have a down payment, no pun intended, on housing as a real bedrock of what we need to do for people here in Rhode Island and throughout this country. So thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. As you've heard, the Family Unification Program requires coordination and collaboration across state government. So I would next like to welcome someone who's taken on the cause of this work to ensure that all state governments rowing together on housing, and that is our Rhode Island Department of Housing Secretary, Stephen Pryor. Secretary Pryor.
Thank you so much, Peter. Let me add my appreciation for Peter Asen and for the new position he now holds. It's fantastic working with Peter in capacities past and present. Really pleased for that. Governor, all present, honor to be with you. I want to speak about emergency solutions and permanent solutions. Under our governor, we've just exited a weekend with a snowstorm. Things have, on the whole, gone well in the rollout of systems and solutions across the administration pertaining to the storm. I want to highlight an emergency solution in action related to homelessness that occurred this weekend. This is new for us. Under this governor, with a lot of cooperation from cities and towns, we opened up 6 pop-up shelters that represent expansion beyond our existing structure, including longer-term shelter beds. These are pop-ups for the winter conditions that arise when a storm arrives or when there's an extreme cold. 6 different locations took up the offer. The state offered some funding in some cases. And even with this relatively mild storm, there were Rhode Islanders experiencing homelessness who did find their way indoors as a result of these expansion sites. We need to do more of this. We need to continue the creativity that Rhode Island throughout its history has been renowned for in providing for emergency solutions so that no one at the end of the day, at the end of our efforts, needs to remain outdoors if they wish to come inside. Now, having said that, the true solutions are permanent. And the folks in this room are working at this every day. Carol Ventura, thank you for your leadership. Right in this room, we conduct the board meetings for Rhode Island Housing. And in this room, there are permanent solutions that are being crafted and being debuted and being implemented under Carol and James Comer and Amy Renone and the entire team here. Examples: the governing document for things like the low-income housing tax credit is the Qualified Allocation Plan, the QAP. As Brenda and Melina and Margaret know, that document is so important in ensuring where the resources go. For the first time in this past 12-month cycle, we introduced a prioritization for extremely low-income Rhode Islanders, so that Rhode Islanders who are at risk of homelessness or who are experiencing homelessness and might be served by a development, we ensure that that development, that project, is prioritized in our approval process. Carol, at a recent board meeting with the governor present, thank you, Governor, we approved 1,600 units of housing for funding. There's a lot going on. These vouchers are a part of the permanent solution if we play our cards right, if we stay in pursuit of resources. These vouchers ensure that we utilize the private market, enabling families to stay together and stay housed in what all of us would consider housing, not shelter. And this is the way that we must advance together. It's only because of our congressional delegation that we continue the success. I have to tell you, this is not a periodic interrelationship between the state government and our congressional delegation that occurs only when there's press conferences. Senator Reid, Congressman Magaziner, and Congressman Amo, are on the case and are helping us and are delivering, and we're so very grateful. And in partnership with the governor, I have to mention one other thing. In the McKee administration, we are in earnest taking aim at family homelessness. Libby Kimsey is here. Libby is on assignment from the Department of Administration in a very unusual and fantastic arrangement with thanks to Director Deckert and to my counterpart secretary at HHS. We are undertaking a comprehensive look at all of the agencies that touch family homelessness so that families with children need not be unhoused. These vouchers are part of that process. Stay tuned for more where we continue this effort, but we are so very grateful. Once again, Carol Ventura, thanks for taking the lead, thanks for guiding us, and thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Secretary. As the Secretary mentioned, we're holding this announcement in the boardroom at Rhode Island Housing. And in addition to all the other vital work they do, Rhode Island Housing is one of the state's largest public housing authorities. And their successes and expertise in this area position them to bring these HUD resources to Rhode Island. I know that the team is already hard at work on the Family Unification Program. And I would like to welcome Rhode Island Housing CEO, Carol Ventura.
Thank you, Peter. We're so happy to have you on board in Providence. I know we're going to get a lot done together. And Administrator, thank you for being here with us today, bringing great news about this new award. We're so pleased to have received Family Unification Program vouchers. These vouchers are so important to ensure that families have access to safe, stable housing, not cycling in and out of housing, stable housing that they can afford. We thank you for your partnership. I want to recognize our delegation, Senators Reid and Whitehouse and Congressman Magaziner and Amo, for their support and advocacy for affordable housing, advancing this critically important agenda on the national level. You champion housing programs for our most vulnerable Rhode Islanders, and we are so grateful for your work. So much of the impactful work we do is possible because of the ongoing investments that flow into Rhode Island due to your efforts. And let me acknowledge the commitment of our governor to affordable housing. We're deploying millions of dollars in funding for affordable housing because our governor and our state leaders are committed to providing affordable homes for Rhode Islanders. Funds, yes. Funds are being deployed and projects are underway. And this will provide the affordable housing we need for over 1,000 Rhode Island families, including the people who have access to these vouchers. The Family Unification Program vouchers will provide critical housing and resources to youth and families of Rhode Island who are experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness. This program will help families stay together with important supportive services to ensure their success. Let me acknowledge the agencies that advance this work, our partners at DCYF, Margaret Holland McDuff from Family Service, and Lisa Gillette at Foster Forward. Thank you for the important work you do every day, and we know that this is going to be a successful program for all your work. Thanks.
Thank you, Carol. Finally, let me welcome up someone who's a critical and truly dedicated partner in the arena of housing for families and youth in need, and that is the Director of the Rhode Island Department of Children, Youth, and Families, Ashley Deckert.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you all for being here today. When I onboarded almost 8 months ago, there were several priorities that I had in front of me, but one of them, probably the top 3, was housing. As a result of that being one of my priorities, I gathered my team and the team of the providers, including FSRI, Margaret Holly McDuff, and conversations with Lisa Gillette from Foster Ford. We're meeting on a weekly basis, having conversations around how to move this work forward. As a result of those very intense conversations, what was born from that was some of the work that Stephen Pryor acknowledged with Libby Kinsey under the Family Homelessness Homeless Division under housing. So I'm extremely appreciative of all the hard work that has gone into addressing homelessness for families in Rhode Island. The Family Unification Program vouchers are critical to families legally involved with DCYF who face housing instability challenges. This is a key step forward in DCYF efforts to ensure children are reunited with their parents when the only challenge is lack of housing. This also supports our efforts to ensure young people leaving our voluntary extension of care, or what we call VEC program, can continue to have a safe place to live. Today, DCYF is paying for hotels for 43 families who are legally involved with DCYF, and are having safe and stable housing as a last barrier to reunification. Some have been in these hotels for months because of the national housing crisis. However, we know children are not to be raised in hotels. They are meant to live in a home that is safe and provides their family with a supportive environment. These 28 vouchers for families and young people involved with DCYF are a critical first step in our collaborative efforts with so many state agencies and community partners, too numerous to mention them all. We appreciate Governor McKee and Secretary's leadership on helping us find solutions to the Rhode Island housing crisis, and our ongoing partnership with Rhode Island Housing, Family Services of Rhode Island, and Foster Ford in addressing these needs. I look forward to us collectively addressing this problem for our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Director Deckert, and thank you for everyone who worked so hard to bring the Family Unification Program to our state, especially to Senator Reed, who is our biggest advocate in Washington for housing in Rhode Island, as well as the others in our delegation who work hard every day for their constituents. Thank you for joining us this morning. I do apologize, but I'm going to have to ask folks to exit the room as we're going to have to prepare it for another meeting. But we do have further details about the program that we handed out, and we are happy to answer questions in the hallway as well.
One question, how much is being devoted to these 28?
The annual amount of funding that is part of this is just over $350,000.
For the 28 vouchers?
Yes. Thank you.